Good afternoon. I am First Squad Leader Cadet Chambers, and today I will be briefing our squad mission for Operation Bobcat Lightning. So our mission, we, First Squad, Charlie Company, 1 and 5th Infantry, will be attacking to destroy Objective Phantom at Uniform Foxtrot 1197-3184. More specifically, their mortar team no later than 30-2200, August 24, in order to deny the enemy influence within our battalion DO. So we will accomplish this mission by infiltration, and our decisive point will be our setting of place for the support by fire, which will be set in place with our gun team that we got attached from our weapon squad. This is decisive because this will give us full control over Objective Phantom and allow us to overwhelm our enemy forces. Now, during this operation, we will assume some risk due to the long-range patrol with little support and a small force. In order to mitigate this, we will move covertly throughout AO Ronin in order to avoid any detection from our enemy forces. Now, for our task org, we will have Alpha Team as our main objective. Their task will be to attack to destroy Objective Phantom in order to deny the enemy influence within our battalion DO. Next will be our Bravo Team. Our Bravo Team will be split up into two sections. They both will interdict in order to prevent any of the enemy's movement within or onto Objective Phantom. Next will be our support by fire. This will be done by our gun team, and this will be to enable movement onto Objective Phantom. Now for this, our mission will be conducted in 5 phases. Our first phase will begin with the receipt of the mission and end at the start point from our patrol base. Now during this phase, we'll be doing our rehearsals, our op brief. We will coordinate with our adjacent units, our PCCs, PCIs, our demo prep, and our recon. Our next phase, infill, will start with the start point from our RP and end at our RP at our ORP. During this, we will be moving through undetected movements, we will do our LDA crossings, and we will maintain communications with higher, and it will end with our actual occupation of our ORP. Now, from our ORP to our actual initiation onto Objective Phantom will be our third phase, our recon phase. Now, during this, the critical task will be the occupation of our support by fire position and the occupation of our assault positions, as long as scouting out any routes as well. And then our leader reconnaissance to actually look at each position and set us up and establish the routes. Our fourth phase will be our action on phase. This will begin with the initiation onto Objective Phantom and will end with our squad reconsolidation at our ORP. Now, during this phase, some of our key objectives will be actually achieving that surprisal on our enemies, having the actual mortar team be destroyed, provide any disruption fires so we can ensure that that is destroyed, and as well as actually maintaining our ground control during that. Now, for our fifth phase, that is our exfil phase, and that will be our actual withdrawal from that ORP. So we'll begin with the squad reconsolidation at our ORP and end with our release point to our patrol base. Now during that, we want to make sure we have a rapid withdrawal and disruption fire to make sure that we avoid any enemy teams following us back to our patrol base. Now, to be more specific, into our third phase, that will be our recon phase. Now, during this phase, the most important thing that will be done is myself initiating that leader's recon. Now, during that leader's recon, I will specifically pinpoint the objective. I will make sure that I will set in place our support by fire position along with our assault line, and then I will put in place the security teams both on this observation post near this road and this one at this road in order to make sure that we can interdict any enemy forces that may be coming to help the mortar team on Objective Phantom. After that, I will return back to our ORP, and then once I'm back at our ORP, I will then place our gun team at the support by fire position, and then I will make sure that the Bravo team leader holds their security positions here, and make sure they maintain contact with the other team on this road here. And then I will make sure that I will in place Alpha team leader to make sure that Alpha team actually occupies that assault line right here on PL Zombie. Now during this, I will be sticking with the support by fire team in order to make sure that our lift, shift, and ceasefires are going as well, and to be with one of our most casualty producing teams. Now from this, I will initiate the initiation will start by the going of our M240 Bravo, as that is our most casualty producing weapon. And then we will also have target fires in place, one at AA1005, which is just to make sure that if anyone were to come down that road, we could stop it immediately. And then also for our Alpha 1000, so we can make sure that the enemy really stays down there if we are not able to achieve control over that Objective Phantom. Now for all of these phases, our method of communication, our primary will be our TCN, our secondary, our alternate will be our FN, our contingency will be the Shout Nano, and our emergency will be a runner. And during this, if we are to gain any casualties, we will consolidate back at our ORP. Our fourth phase is our action on phase. So again, this begins with the initiation using that M240 Bravo, and the support by fire will initiate between target reference point 2 and 1. They will begin with a cyclic rate of fire for 10 minutes, then move on to a rapid rate of fire for 20 minutes, and then move on down to sustain. And while the support by fire team is doing that, the Alpha team and the assault line will be engaging with their M4s. They will prioritize the soft targets over the hard, the closer targets over the far, and then the targets that are more in the open as opposed to the ones who are in cover. Now they will be engaging between target reference point 3 and 1, and this engagement will continue until I, the squad leader, will call it off. Now after that, once we start to maintain priority and once we have our Alpha team starting to move up a little bit closer, we will then shift fire. Shift fire will be called by the team leader, who will radio over to me, and I will confirm once I have made our gun team actually shift fire. And before they start the crossing of PL Zombie, I will ensure that we have a ceasefire and then radio back to our Alpha team leader to confirm the ceasefire. Now after that, they will rapidly team bound across the objective all the way till they get to our LOA, which is PL Cat. After they got to their LOA, the Alpha team leader will radio over to me and confirm that they're at that LOA, which then I will then tell them to get me my LAFE reports, both my Alpha team leader and my Bravo team leader, and to send out our EPW team in order to search the enemy's bodies for any electronic equipment or any demo supplies as well. And then I will tell my Bravo team leader to again get my LAFE report, and then once I get my LAFE reports, I will report that up, and then I will recontribute all of our supplies. Now, after the LAFE report is sent up and our EPW search is done, I will direct the Alpha team leader to initiate our demo fuse through the radio, and that has a burn time of about 3 seconds. After they start that demo fuse, they will pick up and go and shoot a direct azimuth back to our ORP. Once our supervised fire team sees the assault team going through, they will then pick up and go. And now the security team will either pick up and go by a radio command from me, or once they see the fuse go off. Now the routes that they will be taking, both to get to the place and from the place, will be Route Eagle for the security team 2, Route Hawkeye for security team 1. The gun team will be going through Route Hawkeye, but then split off, but right before the LDA using a Route Stage, and the assault team will be assaulting through Route Lightning. Now this total action on time should take no longer than 15 minutes. And then once we all reconsolidate, we will check and we'll make sure that everything is good. Our last phase will be our exfil phase, and that will be our release point at our patrol base, or getting back to our patrol base. In order to this, we will be using our alternate route in order to maximize concealment, and we will be doing radio checks with our platoon headquarters about every half hour. Now lastly, for some of our coordinating instructions, some things to be aware of whenever we are doing our patrols is to make sure that we actually have our enemy presence within AO Ronin. We will call back up if we notice any team size that is over a platoon, and we will also radio back up if we notice that the enemy is aware of our presence within AO Ronin. And again, some of our FFIRs would be our hard and soft compromises, if we lost any key weapon systems, or if we take on any friendly casualties. Now for our PCCs and PCIs, something that I want to make sure that we are all making sure that we have is we want to have our night equipment, we want to have our weapon systems, and we want to have our audio visual signatures along with all our demo weapons. Now the priority of rehearsals will be our LDA crossings, since we will be doing a lot of LDA crossings during our patrols, our demo prep, and our actual actions within or on the objective. And then some of the things that we were going to prioritize during this mission is our communications with our higher up and our security and concealment. This concludes my brief, pending any questions.